Hey, geography class, I'm back. It's Wednesday. It's actually Tuesday. I'm filming on Tuesday, but it's Wednesday for you guys, and I'm glad to be back with you all. Continue to miss you. I'm here in my living room, where I've been doing most of the shooting. I wish I could be a little bit more creative, and wish I could go outside, but I'm just not that creative. So I'm sitting here in my living room. As we speak, my neighbor's he's raking the leaves in his yard. So if you hear something, that's what you're hearing. So he's raking the leaves. So before we get started, one thing I would like to do is I'd like to start off with a little Bible reading. So bear with me here while I bring it up. These are kind of tough times. I understand that. So what I want to do is, like I said, I want to do a Bible reading. So let's start off with Psalm 16. Let's start off. This is what we're going to read. Confidence in the Lord. This is not a very confident time. Not a lot of confidence in what's going on. Not a lot of confidence with the economy right now. I'm sure some of your parents are a little concerned with what's going on. I'm sure some of you guys are kind of stuck in the middle. Might be some tension, but we should never put our confidence in things other than the Lord. So let's read this. Let's read this psalm. This is a psalm of David. Protect me, God, for I take refuge in you. I said to the Lord, you are my Lord. I have nothing good beside you. As for the holy people who are in the land, they are the noble ones. All my delight is in them. The sorrows of those who take another God for themselves will multiply. I will not pour out their drink offerings of blood, and I will not speak their names with my lips. Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. You hold my future. The boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. I will bless the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, when the thoughts trouble me, I will always let the Lord guide me. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad, and my whole being rejoices. My body also rests securely, for you will not abandon me to Sheol. You will not allow your faithful one to see decay. You reveal the path of life to me. In your presence is abundant joy. At your right hand are eternal pleasures. So just a little psalm to get us going. Hopefully, you know me, I like to tell people to read the Bible. I probably am not reading it enough right now. I like to be around you guys. I like to be around my team. This is tough for me being stuck in my house all day long. I'm not going to lie. So first of all, really good job. You've all registered on Lizard Point. To be honest with you, a bunch of you have already taken all the quizzes. We have some real go-getters in this class. I'm not going to say who, but his initials might be SS. He took practice quizzes like 30 times. So that's really good. I have some other classes. I can't seem to get the kids doing anything, but you guys are doing really, really good. So all we're going to do on this video is I'm going to go over a couple slides, and I'm going to point out a couple more quizzes that are on Lizard Point, and then we'll be done. So let's just go to the slideshow. This is something that I wanted to kind of go over with you guys when we were still in school. So let's go to this right here. Okay. One of the things when we're studying Latin America, one of the reasons it's so important in studying Latin America is that our state, the state of Texas, United States, but really where we live even more, we sit right in the Mexican border. So we have many, many, many Mexican Americans who live in our city. We have Mexican Americans that go to Rose Hill. You probably have a lot of Hispanic people who are in your churches, and their influence and their culture's influences our culture. We know that cultural diffusion. We understand that. So I'm just going to go over a few slides, kind of highlight that idea. So it said, so who is Hispanic or Latino? Like who are these people? The United States Census Bureau uses the ethonyms Hispanic or Latino to refer to a person of Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, South or Central American, or other Spanish culture or origins, regardless of race, and states that Hispanics or Latinos can be of any race, any ancestry, any ethnicity. So basically, we're talking about anyone whose ancestry or whose heritage comes from comes from either Mexico or anywhere down in South America, specifically the Spanish-speaking countries. So as of July 2018, Mexican Americans made up 11.3% of the United States population. That's including the whole country. That includes Minnesota and Idaho, where there's just not a lot of Mexican Americans who live in those areas, not those two specific, but that area of the country, just due to the fact that they're not right on the border of Mexico. So July 2018, 11.3% of the United States population, as 37 million U.S. residents identified as being of full or partial Mexican ancestry. It's 37 million. That's about the same population as the state of Texas, but these people are scattered all over the country. As of July 2018, Mexican Americans comprised 61.9% of all Latinos in America. So if we know that Latino people are people from Mexico or South America, out of that group, 61.9% are from Mexico. So by far the biggest section of Latinos are Mexicans. Here's a map. We use maps a lot. This is a thematic map. The demographics of Hispanic and Latino Americans depict a population that is second largest ethnic group in the United States. 52 million people, or 16.7% of the population of them. 47 million are American citizens. So we have 52 million people in the United States. Our population is roughly 325 million, 330 million. We're supposed to have a census this year. The Constitution calls for the government to count all the people in the United States every 10 years. I'm going to bet we don't have a census, because I think someone going door to door to count all the people is probably not considered good social distancing. So 52 million people in the United States would be considered Hispanic or Latino. So here's a little chart. U.S. Hispanic population reached nearly 60 million in 2018. You can see how much it increases. Okay, hopefully you can see my pointer. It really increases. In 1970, really almost none. Now, push-pull factors. This might be things got bad in Mexico, so they were pushed out of Mexico or all of South America. Or that would be a push factor. A pull factor would be things got so good in the United States it pulled people over the border into the United States. It's probably a combination of both. And we've talked a little bit about that. So Venezuelans and Dominicans grew the fastest between 2010 and 2017. If you're a baseball fan, you know a little bit about Dominican Republic, just because there's so many Major League Baseball players from the Dominican Republic, which is only an island of about 8 million people. But you can see this is the percentage of increase in population from 2010 to 2017. So our Venezuelan population has increased by 76%. This would be definitely a push factor. Venezuela became a socialist country. They've basically gone bankrupt. People are trying to flee. Dominica, Guatemala, and Honduras, and you can see all on down through there. So that's basically what I wanted to go over as far as that goes, as far as just some slides. You can look over the slideshow. You don't need me walking you through the slideshow. So I'm back. So just look through the slideshow. Just wanted to point out some reasons why it's really important that we study this area. And then we kind of have there's not a lot of Swedish influence on us living in Houston, or there's not a lot of Japanese influence of us living in Houston, but there is a lot of Mexican influence and Latin American influence. So it's kind of cool. Let's go to Lizard Point real quick, and then we'll be done. Probably just leave this right up there, and then I won't have to go back and forth. So let's go. By now, you all know how to navigate this area, this site. So the two quizzes that I added, one was Central American capitals. We've gone over them. You will be fairly familiar with them. And then the other one was America, the capital cities. Now, unfortunately, this includes the capital of Canada, the capital of Greenland, the capital of the United States. We were going to learn those eventually anyways. So on this quiz, they're included. So make sure you do a bunch of practice quizzes. These 2 additional quizzes, not due until next Wednesday. So a week from today. So the original first 3 quizzes, which is Central America and the Caribbean countries, Central American countries, and the American countries, these are due by Monday. A lot of you have already done them, and I think everyone's already gotten 100 on them. Remember, there's 3 settings on the quizzes. So if I go to this quiz, there's the practice setting, there's the test setting, and then there's the strict test setting. Do all the practice you want. I can see how many times you've practiced, so I know how much work you're doing. Not that I'm going to grade you on that, but then there's the test. It makes it a little bit more difficult. But the strict test, I'm going to take the first strict test you take. That's the one that I'm going to count for a grade. So that's kind of where we're at. Everyone's doing great. I know that probably your science and your math class is a little bit more difficult online. So you're probably concentrating on those a little bit more. So at this point, it's just really important that we learn the countries of South America. Maybe we'll ramp it up a little bit next week. We'll do the land forms, but we're all doing really good. I really appreciate you guys all logging in and all getting registered on Lizard Point, and you all have grades in there now. And by Monday, you'll have some quiz grades, and just like we would if we were in school. I've been telling all my classes this. Listen, get outside, walk around. Get some sunlight. Vitamin D is good for you. Go for a run, lift some weights, do something physical. Read your Bible if you can. And if you need anybody, feel free to contact me. Contact Miss Hauser, Coach Krantz, either of them, Miss Strange, anybody on the staff. If you're stressed out, because I know I am. If you're stressed out over these times, you just need someone to talk to, feel free to give us a call, contact us via email, contact us over Skype, whatever. We're here for you. So love you guys and miss you, and good luck. See you on Monday.